Hello there everybody and welcome to a gameplay video for Gigantic. We're going to be playing today HK206, my bad guys, which is a recent champion. I just picked up this game in general. I'm level 13 right now or so. But I've been playing this game a little bit and we just picked up this champion. He's a really fun shooter, lots of sustainable damage, fairly hard to kill. And I've been running a build with him that I've been calling kind of just Big Boom. And it's based on the premise that you cause a lot of damage with your with the AoE based kind of skill sets and close range, as opposed to being, you know, kind of like the sitting back in your fortify and sniping across the map. So just a little bit of background. You saw earlier that we just defended this little Cyclops, which is Cyclops is what I feel honestly is the best potential character to use at this particular area. This guy is kind of camping up there at the top, and he's annoying me a little bit. I believe I can't see very well who that might be, but I can't entirely remember honestly who that is up there at the top. But we're just gonna go ahead and defend this area, and I get tired of this dude, so I'm gonna sit behind the Cyclops a little bit and just kind of force him off that edge. As you can see, that we are in the attack phase right now, which is why I'm a little bit, you know, in hindsight, I really should have just been pushing up. And by pushing up, we would have actually pushed him off that little ledge anyway. Is that Voden up there? Or is that... It's the guy with the sniper. I can't quite remember, honestly, off the top of my head. Anyway, so moving on forward, though, I decided... Alright, well, I probably should be up here. And so I come along and try to get a little bit of a bomb up there. Get some damage and some burning done. We've got some skill points that I need to, at some point, take a time off to actually go ahead and key up. By the way, I never use the automatic. I always pick my own. I do find the automatic tends to not specialize into anything in particular. So here you see me stopping, and I'm deciding what it is I want to go for. And I typically go for the handgun at this level. And so the first things I upgrade in this guy is Q. And I decided to go head-to-head with this other guy, this other HK. And I decided I'm not going to win that one. So I go ahead and back off. We still have our Mozu down there, and I get into a battle up here a little bit with I believe that's Taito. Nope. Well, Taito, and I suppose that was also Beckett, who I was fighting against. But thankfully, our little guy here, the frog guy, Wu, goes ahead and destroys Taito for me after, you know, for my vengeance, and is able to get away. But so that's my first death of the game, guys. I don't have too many deaths this game. This is a decent amount of kill kind of game and a lot of assist kind of game, and I do tend to play that way in general. We have our focus ready in case we want to use our little missile barrage thing. My favorite aspect of this particular hero, though, has got to be the Q. I think that the Q is very powerful, both in terms of just moving people around, as well as it's also a ton of fun. And I've replaced my laser with the cannon shot. Now here we're just getting absolutely destroyed by this guy sniping from across the way, doing a lot of annoying damage to me, and we're having a hard time kind of stand up there. So I don't like it when people just kind of like sit in one particular general area and just kind of snipe across the map. It's not my favorite kind of play style. So perhaps is that Imani? Could that be Imani over there? I'm trying to remember now. But yeah, it's not really my favorite way of playing the game, so I tend to get annoyed with that. So I went ahead and I backed off and I did the same darn thing, which, you know, doesn't really help. And so it's time for us to defend. So we're now in the defense portion. It was very, very close to us actually having a second attack. And of course, as HK in defense, you pretty much just want to set yourself up somewhere and beat the guys down the best you can. I believe that's Beckett right over there, who is trying to get some damage done. We're able to take care of her pretty easily. And then somebody else comes along. Who is that? That's Zandora, I believe. And she's going to go ahead and try to get some damage done. They got some damage done to our guy, but it wasn't actually that particularly too much. And we were able to defend quite successfully. And so we're moving back up to continue the fight. Here it is that I'm going to be going ahead and getting my Q upgraded a little bit. Increased rate of fire I like to take as my first kind of Q point, and I particularly like that because I feel like it helps in short range. So here this guy is, you know, he's going to be sniping again. And so I figure, you know what, I want to push him off that ledge because he's just obnoxious right now. Or she. And we just sit there and just absolutely destroy him. Just keep on smacking away with the left mouse button. Did I say Q before? It's the left mouse button. Sorry, my brain still sometimes goes back to League of Legends and stuff like that. So anyway, and we're able to get a couple more assists in here while defending the Mountain Cyclops. So this guy up here is smacking away at us, and we've got the Cyclops over here and a whole bunch of friends. So we're easily able to push him off. He's still up there though. He came back off to the side. We went ahead and actually kind of, due to the map, it's not what I typically go for. We got the skill where even at long range it does the same amount of damage as close range. Typically we go for the close range one, but seeing as we've been having so many problems with people from sitting across there sniping at us, we decided that we're gonna go ahead and go for this guy. So he's just kind of, we're gonna duel this one out the best that we can. He goes ahead and backs off. I definitely won that battle a little bit. And I'm just going to keep it running a little bit in case he pops back up. And that's what they've been doing, is they've just been walking back and forth around the top of the rampart up there. So now I'm taking a little bit of damage here, so I decided I'm going to go ahead and back off and get to a different, more perhaps defensible position. And I'm kind of struggling here, nearly dead. Got to walk off. Got to kind of get my health back up. So that's the new plan, is just, alright, let's get some health up. I'm ready to go because in case anybody pops around this area, because both of us are pretty low back here. And oh, she almost got one right there. Mozu almost got it bad right there. I'm full health though, and we were unable to really kind of get up and attack. At least I wasn't, along with Mozu, just due to the fact that we've been kind of pushed back and kind of pinned down by this guy. I'm tired of it. I decided I'm gonna go ahead and sit up here and push this guy off the cliff again, off the edge. If he decides he wants to sit around here and try to battle it out. Definitely think I'm getting the better of him on this one. And he just keeps poking his head up there, and I just keep it nice and low, and I end up taking off the top of his skull a little bit. So we have a ton of focus now, so it's definitely time that we start thinking about what it is we want to do with it. Do we want to summon, or do we want to use it for our focus attack? And I believe that my gut feeling is like, we're summoned up pretty well right here. We got a pretty strong game going on. So I don't think it's necessarily reasonable right now to be focusing on summoning new characters or new guys. We're going to go ahead and see if we can't cause some trouble. Maybe throw some, you know, sometimes I like to go ahead and attack the characters, the little summoned guys, little pets. I don't know, they're kind of like pets. They're cute like pets at least. Just to kind of throw people off and start drawing people away to different sides of the map. So I did that over there to see if we can't draw some people over there. And then I went ahead and came around the backhand side to go ahead and attack D. So coming in here, it's just the young bloomer, and then the enemies show up. It's not looking particularly great for us. There's a lot of baddies here. I go ahead and jump away from that, giving a little bit of a cue off my back. And we got this guy then, and he's going to try to escape, and I can't quite see him from where I'm at. But somebody went ahead and grabbed the kill. I believe that was Taito the Swift again, if I remember correctly. And so now we're kind of like in between D and C, and it's looking like, you know, D is a potential attack right here. Got some good flaming down with the bomb. We go ahead and drive away a little bit, and I figured that they were gonna push down a little bit, and so I kind of got into my siege mode and was ready to kind of go, and then they didn't. I was like, you know what? I don't think we're gonna get D today. It's just not looking particularly likely. So I'm going to go ahead and hop up here and see if they're still, you know, yep, they are. They're up there trying to push people off, you know, trying to snipe from up there again. So I went ahead and jumped up there just to try to push them off the side again. And put some damage down range where I could. Again, this is not something that I typically enjoy doing because I find this to be fairly boring in comparison, but they've been doing it all day, and I don't want us to just kind of, you know, get sniped away. So there seems like there's two of them up there, and then there's me, but I'm gonna go ahead and try to push them off anyway. It's gonna be close, and we get sniped out. So yeah, killing blow by the silent scope, and that is in fact Amani. Yeah. So Amani's the one that kind of just does like the cross range, scoped in snipes. Not particularly my favorite kind of play style, but you know, you win some and you lose some. We definitely lost that one pretty badly. We're in the defense mode right now. That was our second death of the game. I believe there's only one more left to go, although I can't off the top of my head remember when that quite was. we're going to go ahead and get into the position that we need to be in to make a good defense. And but we hadn't paid enough attention to the actual damage that our guy had already taken. Turns out that he was going to be wounded either way just by the smacking of his head to the ground. So we've also taken a wound now. We're ahead a little bit in terms of champion, and we are kind of looking okay overall. Amani's back to sniping at the top, and our frog guy, Mr. Wu, got an amazing grab, and we're able to just throw some damage down on him from range while he's killed by somebody else. So nice grab by Wu though. Wu's got some pretty nasty kit abilities where he can really lock you down for a significant amount of time, and he also does a fairly decent amount of damage. So Wu's a little bit of a scary character to play against. I do not currently have him, so here we go ahead and get into a fight. I decided that I'm going to go ahead and try to take this guy down right off the bat. I think it was a poor decision. This is a tank after all, but I did know that I had a lot of focus power, and my friends were near me. I'm going to go ahead and jump away here because it's not going well for me as an overall. This guy comes in to try to go ahead and kill me. I'm going to go ahead and kite him around the mountain guy and shoot him in the back as he runs off. So a nice easy kill there. I do believe he could have finished me off. I think it would have resulted in his death either way, but what he just did there was got himself killed and didn't even kill me. So definitely more of a loss on his side. So we're kind of, again, in this middle zone where we're between C and E now instead of C and D. And our tank over there, Margrave, I believe, is taking a little bit of damage. We have Amani over there, and we're going to put some damage down on her. She's fairly low, but we've got some people coming in from our other side. I don't really particularly feel like 1v4ing right now, so I go ahead and back off. We've got the push now for the attack, so you got to think they're going to be moving around a little bit. This is what I should have done earlier, where I'm pushing through the gate, and I figured, you know what, if there's somebody above me, I'll find him. And we have another HK over there, just trying to put some damage down as we push forward. I mean, if possible, if you can weaken up the enemy team before you push in for the attack, that's actually something you should definitely consider doing. I've got something behind me now, and that is, I believe, who's that? Beckett. With their machine gun pistols. She's doing a little bit of damage to me, so I'm going to go ahead and pop over to the other side. And better safe than sorry, I figured. I was taking some pretty decent damage. And Beckett's a pretty powerful hero in this game. So now it's up to the clash, which means we're going to go ahead into the next section of this particular map. So I'm locating my way over there now. I originally failed the jump, and then go ahead and get over. Now at this point, it's looking pretty solidly in our favor. We have an entire heart's advantage over our enemies, and feeling pretty confident overall. I like this bigger giant too, this bigger mountain guy. So we're taking, we're just kind of shooting across here in between the different areas. That is who's that over there? That's Amani again, kind of just sniping down the corridor. So we're going to go ahead and just give them hell. And definitely think that I can outdamage them from here at this rate. So I'm not particularly worried about it right there. We do have our Mozu as well. And Mozu has a really cool deflective spell that can be really beneficial down hallways like this. There you go. She just used it. And it's kind of keeping people from putting damage down our range, which is great for us because we get to get out a whole bunch of damage. We get a kill. We get some burnings going on. I think there's another kill for us. That's like a double right there. I get the Highlander badge, which is nice. Beckett go ahead and pops up in this corner. Now I'm looking like I'm in a little bit of trouble because I'm the only person sitting in here. I go ahead and use my ultimate, my focus, and then just get some more damage done for the team. And then I back off because I need a little bit of help. I figure, you know what? We're winning in terms of the overall damage, and I think we're going to be okay with just this. So Taito goes ahead and jumps behind us, does his little winning whirling blade, and it's not enough to get us down though. We're kind of like soaking up a little more health here as we kind of pick at people throughout this kind of the map area. It is our attack turn though, so I want to go ahead and see if I can't get over where it is I need to get going. And so we're following our good guy in, our champion, our gigantic. And I'm looking behind me right now because I realize I'm all alone up here. But I feel fairly safe. We go ahead and get his face to the ground, and it's just a matter of pushing the damage down his throat now. So we have a bit of damage left to go, but I do feel a little bit confident. I try to go ahead and bounce the people away from our guys up there, but it doesn't matter anyway. we've put a whole bunch of damage down into the enemy Gigantic, and we have successfully carried this match. I wouldn't say necessarily that we carried, but this is a very strong game. Efficiency of 15.3. Next, higher than us was our Wu, who was 20, and our kills 7, deaths 2. I'm sorry, I thought I had 3, and assists 13. So fairly good game. Lots of assists, lots of kills, and fairly few deaths. So I've had better games before with HK, but this is definitely a fun game, and I definitely enjoyed this one. So hope you all enjoyed. Most damage dealt, 34k, not bad. And I'll see you guys in the next episode of Gigantic.